I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
If you're watching this video, I deserve to be punished badly. And you get to decide what is done with me, but we'll get to that in a second. The reason why I'm making the video, the reason why I'm getting punished, is because I made a big mistake. The last couple of years, I've taken a lot of pride in making sure that episodes are released on time, correctly, every Tuesday, every Thursday, so everybody in the Oops family can get their weekly dose of the podcast. And I'm so grateful and appreciative for all of you that have stuck with us over all these years. But I made a big oops. I made a big fuck up. Today, just now, I accidentally deleted 4 of GIULIO's camera angles. That's like the biggest bad move that I could possibly make. I did it, didn't mean to do it, but it happened and I can't get them back. So over the next 4 episodes, nothing can replace GIULIO's angelic smile, his contagious laughter, his attentive eye contact when he's listening to you or the guests that we have over the next few episodes. But I do have a visual aid, something in mind that is going to keep the video going. And so I hope you stay tuned with us on the YouTube version of the podcast. Everything on the audio is as if nothing ever happened. As for punishment, for you YouTube watchers and listeners of the podcast, please comment below what you think should be done to me. Physical, verbal, monetary, whatever you think I deserve to be punished in, please comment below. GIULIO will consider every and any punishment, and then he will decide which disciplinary action is suited best for this mistake that I made, this big oops. And then on top of that, to anybody that's creepy that comments on the YouTube account, anything about me, I, for the duration of these 4 episodes, promise to acknowledge, respond, and engage to those comments. And I will chat with you about whatever you want to chat about. If you want to DM me on my Instagram, I will engage and fully conversate with you and whatever your weird fetish fantasies may be over the next 2 weeks or so. So I appreciate you guys. I am so sorry that you're not getting GIULIO in video form. These are 4 great episodes, and I'm going to do my best to make his angle as entertaining as possible. And happy holidays, happy New Year. Really appreciate you guys, and I am just really sorry. Who the dude you think you is? He was nominated for an Oscar for that, Robert Downey Jr., and that was 14 years ago.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oops Podcast. What is this? Is it Christmas Eve today?
It's Christmas Eve today.
It's Christmas Eve.
A little
today.
blackface talk to start us off.
Oh, nice, Lynch. Very good.
That was you.
That was you.
Well, if I cut it, the way that I cut it in the episode, GIULIO, it's actually you just saying blackface. Ugh.
We were talking about
What a
Tropic
time.
Thunder. Thank you, Lynch. Great way to kick off the holidays here. Well, here we are. It's Christmas, another year. I always enjoy the Christmas to New Year's black hole where time means nothing and you just get some time to reflect. Everything slows down, a little bit of family time, a little bit of solo dolo time, a little bit of leisure time, hopefully.
Yeah.
To reflect on what has been done, what will be done, and how the course of your life is shaping up. It's sort of like taking acid for non-drug users. You get a chance to look yourself in the eye and take a look at your life.
A lot of thinking while you're passing the salt at the dinner table.
There you go.
That's where I think the most is when there's the silence amongst the family while eating. Mm-hmm. That's where I reflect on, am I happier passing the salt this year than I was last year?
These are the big questions.
It's a question that you ask yourself.
These are the big questions.
I do agree with you. After Christmas, there is some sort of void. There is some sort of vacation amongst the mind, and then you get to work on whatever you want to set forward going into the new year. The holidays themselves stress me out. That's all in my head.
What's stressful about it?
I think just the.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm curious what's stressful about it for you.
That's fine. You can disagree.
No, I don't disagree.
I just think being around family, you know, there's perspective that's put in place, as well as I don't know, it's just you're gonna, hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully you're with family or you're with friends, or you do what you do every year. You have a tradition. You know you're gonna be there the year next, and you just hope that you're in a better position than you were the year prior. So it's just like a time to think. You're not really doing too much work. You're not in the work groove. So you're just thinking about the next year, or any other personal things that you have going on. So I get anxious and stressed out around the holidays.
About that, and because of that?
No, about usually there's a personal thing going on that I get stressed out about.
Like family dynamic.
Yeah. So like around this time last year, I was stressed about engagement planning. What about you?
Well, Lynch, that was a very solid diplomatic answer. You did not share too much, but you did give us a little bit of insight as to what might give you some stress.
Yeah.
I totally understand. Did the family element add to that when it came to the engagement stuff? Was that part of what made it stressful, or just thinking about it?
It's just thinking about it. Honestly, being with the family is the best.
Oh, nice.
So thank God there's that. At least the setting is always welcoming. And that's why I think I allow myself to think and reflect thoroughly, because I'm in an environment where I feel like I can really therapeuticize myself.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, dude. So we must acknowledge the word creation there. I liked it.
We always do it.
We always do it. And sometimes there isn't a word for what you're trying to express. So you need to create one.
Yeah.
I liked how you did that.
Thank you.
Do you drink with your family?
On the holidays, yes.
Like a lot?
Enough where I could drive home.
Okay. And what are you drinking typically?
Wine.
Okay.
I'll bring a bottle or two of orange.
Nice.
Hell
to the yeah.
That's it. Yeah. My grandparents buy the shittiest wine, so I bring my own. They buy like the doinkiest yellowtail, but the cheapest yellowtail.
Oh, yeah.
And they buy it just to buy it. It's like a prop. It's literally a facade of wine, in my opinion. So I bring a little bit of wine, and I kick back with my cousins. I do not go on the cousin walk. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I think I am. But
I just learned when that term was this year.
What is the cousin
The
walk?
younger Gen Z know it as when you go for a walk before Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner with your cousins, smoke a joint.
Yeah.
And I have graduated to the age group in my family where if I were to participate in that, everyone would notice, because I facilitate a lot of the conversation at the dinner table, and my cousins become mute. And my brother becomes mute.
So you think your cousins are potentially taking the little walk?
They go on the walk. They ask me.
They go on on the walk they are
walking.
They're walking.
They're walking. And I just, I am already afraid to be high by myself, let alone making eye contact with my grandfather.
Yeah.
While I'm a little stoned. Ryan, are you okay? I don't want him to ask me that question in that state.
Yeah, it's amazing how, I don't know what the thought process is behind that when you're younger. Like, what makes you think that is something you want to do? I mean, like, you're obviously high. Like, even if you have Visine in or whatever, like, I guess maybe like there's a scenario where the convo is dominated by the adults, and like the kids can get away with acting apathetic. And therefore, if they're high, it doesn't mean anything because they're always silent.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cousin walk is really something. Yeah, I will not be participating in that either. But it's funny because I've heard from a lot of people that over the holidays, they get like hammered, and not just like leading into the holidays. I understand the sort of like December holiday party phenomenon where you're going to all these parties, you're drinking, blah, 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 where you're drinking, blah, blah, blah. And I get that. But then once the holidays themselves start, I've heard from people that when they go and see their family, they drink a ton. I don't do that. In fact, I rarely drink at all with my family. And there'll be people who will drink. They'll be drinking wine, they'll drink whatever. But it's sort of like a time for me where it's like not the time where I want to be drinking for whatever reason. I just like don't feel like, oh, let's drink.
Yeah.
Do you change? Like, do you have a tradition? Do you go to the same place every year? Or
It's kind of changed because my family currently doesn't have a house. So we are Whenever I take the train out, I hang out with them, and we kind of ship it between my cousins and my grandparents' houses.
What tends to be your like sleeping situation for the holidays?
Yeah. So long story short, my parents sold our house in 2019, and they hop back and forth between Tampa and Jersey, and they have apartments. They have a 2-bedroom in Jersey. So my brother has one. He lives there, and my parents have the other bedroom. So when I visit them, I sleep either in the bed with my brother, on an air mattress in my brother's room, or on a living room couch. So we were lucky enough to have a room in our home that was one of those rooms that you don't ever like go into, and there's like uncomfortable furniture there. And that's where like we had family heirlooms and fine china, and you just never sat in there. That's the couch that we now have as like the family room couch.
The family heirloom couch.
Yeah.
Is now the family room couch.
And it's uncomfortable, and it is rock hard. So sleeping is uncomfortable when I visit. I tend to only stay for a couple days just because of that. I wake up on an air mattress that deflates. I don't care. It doesn't matter how much money you spend on an air mattress. It deflates. I've never slept on a great air mattress where
Deflategate.
The deflate gate. I've never woken up on an air mattress that was as buoyant as it was when I laid my little breasts against the base of it with my cheek on the pillow. So it's not comfortable. And
is this a topic of discussion?
No, because I don't want to make my parents. I mean, it's just how it is. I'm grateful we have a roof over our head, food, family.
You want to see them, and you go, and you're a good boy. You go and you spend time with them.
I love to hang out with them. It's hard to stay longer than a couple days when I don't have at least like a space. My space is shared, and even if I want to do like a debrief phone call with Victoria, because we split up for the holidays, and we're in full agreement with that while our grandparents are still alive. It's hard to have a debrief goodnight phone call with Vic. I don't know about you, but I don't feel comfortable having like good night, I love you, where I'm a stone's throw away, or I'm a decibel bounce away from entering my parents' bedroom.
Too cold for the balcony.
Yeah, too cold for the balcony. It's not talking shit, but just like intimate phone call. Like I can't do that when I'm away from home.
And you don't want to go on the lover's walk.
I don't want to go on the walk of love. No.
The walk of love.
No.
Yeah, I feel you. So,
Yeah.
Okay. So when you sort of make your plan, you're going to go for 2 days, let's say 2 nights. Are your parents ever like, oh, why don't you stay longer, right?
Absolutely.
What do you say back?
So here's what I do. I fold. So I leave the apartment with a plan. I'm like, you're staying 2 nights. You're going to tell them, you're going to look them in the eyes, and you say, I love you. I'm leaving on Friday. And then you're going to have a valid reason. I got to go film this content, and I need the apartment to myself. Vic's not home. It's a great time for me to get out of the way, and I'm swamped with work, which is always true. I always have a valid reason to go back, so I don't even feel guilty about it on one degree. But then I see them, and my mom, she's not toxic, but she looks me in the eyes, and she's like, oh, Rye, like you stay till Saturday. If I was planning on leaving on Friday. And I don't know how to say no to my mom or my dad. My dad was like, hey, let's go to the basketball game. Let's go to the Seton Hall game Saturday afternoon. And that's, it's a fun bonding moment with my dad. I see them quite a bit, but you never know. Like, so of course.
What is the mascot again? Some sort of pirate.
Seton Hall Pirates.
What's the literal pirate?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I get to spend like this nice one-on-one time with my family. And so I rethink things once I'm there. I end up staying an extra day and a half longer than expected. And I always end up going home thinking I did the right thing.
That's nice. Are you guys Seton Hall fans?
Yes. Grew up.
They've been good. They were Big East, right? Back in the day or no?
They're in the Big East right now. They were the first team out of March Madness last year.
Got it.
And they've made the tournament 4 out of 5 years, the years prior.
They've had some guys in the NBA, right? From like the 90s and stuff.
Only a couple guys have made it to the NBA.
And where is Seton Hall?
It is in Orange, New Jersey.
Okay, yeah.
And they play at the Prudential Center in Newark, where
I
the
grew
Devils
up
play.
Going to Maplewood for Christmas, which is close to Orange.
Yeah.
So I kind of know the lay of the land a bit, and I think I may even have had some cousins who went to Seton Hall at one point. So anyway, I'm curious about all this stuff because it's a topic for me as well.
We've talked about it a little bit. You have a similar situation.
This idea that like you grow up and now suddenly you don't have time for your parents or you can't make time for your parents. That to me is unacceptable, right? Not only because I think it's the right thing, but also because it's me sort of projecting into the future where like, if that were to happen to me as a parent, I'd be devastated. So it's important to me to make time for my parents. I talk to them all the time. We try to arrange times where we can see each other, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this Christmas in particular, we are having Christmas in New Jersey, not in Maplewood, but not super far from there, maybe 20, 25 minutes away.
Cut it where?
Union, you know?
Familiar, yeah.
Union, the Union area. And so we're going to go for Christmas Eve, and then we're going to go for Christmas breakfast or whatever. And then that'll essentially be it. The plan is then that my family will come here for a bit, hang out for the afternoon. Maybe we'll have some sort of early Italian dinner type of deal. When I say Italian dinner, I don't mean Italian food. Italians love to have dinner at like 2 p.m. on holidays. I don't know if other people do that too.
We do that.
You do that too?
Yeah.
And then there's this discussion now about what's going to happen after that. Will I then go to Connecticut? Or does that make no sense? So there's a couple ways to look at this. So first of all, I think my parents and me as well, Christmas was always a special holiday for us, as it is for most people who celebrate it. You know what I mean? It's this magical thing. And my parents too, like more so than making it magical for us as kids, I think they felt the magic of it as well. Like we loved Christmas. We watched Christmas movies, Christmas music, like Christmas, yay. And I still feel a very good relationship with Christmas. So I think that part of the rationale behind them wanting me to come back is like, it'll feel more Christmassy to them if I go there too. The whole family's there, and like there is merit to that. That's a very nice thought. And not to mention, Hill Dog has to work. So Christmas, the day after Christmas, the day after that, she has work. So she wouldn't be able to come, which is fine. And it actually, in a way, makes it more straightforward as far as where are we going to stay, where am I going to stay situation, because now it's just one person and I can kind of sleep wherever, and that's fine. But there's a kind of a combination of things that make me wonder if it's the move. I mean, we're seeing each other for the holidays. We were just together recently. They came to visit. I've seen them a good amount. I feel good about the amount that we've seen each other. But in order to go up there, this is what needs to happen. So I will then get into the car with, I will be the fifth person in the car. Does that to you sound like any sort of negative column in any capacity?
So you'll be the fifth person in your family's car?
Correct.
Heading back?
And I've been told, or I've already, when this came up, I was told, well, you'll sit in the front, which practically speaking makes sense, but my mom should sit in the front. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there will be 4 men in this car and my mom, my little mom. And we will then drive to Connecticut. It's not close Connecticut. This is like 120 miles Connecticut. And that's a dense 120 miles. That's like not a good drive. It's pretty densely congested the whole time. Start, stop. And it's fine. I'm not driving, probably. Maybe I will, whatever. But anyway, 5 of us in the car. Stay for a couple nights. Great. Have a nice time. There is a place for me to stay. And they do make a really solid effort to make it as comfortable as possible, which I really appreciate, given the limitations that are there.
Mm-hmm.
So while there's no proper room, there's a proper room, but there's no bed, but that's fine in theory, right? That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a sort of a futon that's in the back that's solid.
It looks like you want me to agree with you to help you justify.
No, I don't.
I
don't. I'm trying to just lay it out for you.
Yeah.
Just being as straightforward as possible. And
okay, keep going.
Sorry, no, but it's a delicate subject. So it's not my bed. It's not my bed at home, you know. But it's there, and it can fit a man of my size. Then I will have to be driven 45 minutes to then take a 2.5 hour train to come back. And to me, I'm leaning in the direction of maybe it doesn't make sense to go up. What do you think?
2 nights, you're going to see them.
I'm going to see them for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, the way that I always have.
Yeah. And there's no shot you'd be staying through New Year's.
No chance.
Bottom line, I think you don't need to feel guilty about not going to Connecticut. It seems like a lot. And you're already spending the eve together, and you're spending at least part of the day together. And that's pretty damn solid.
Do you feel this way even before I sort of presented my potentially uncompelling case? How did you feel about the sort of heavy, we'll put this in heavy quotes, obstacles that presented?
The sleeping situation, yet to this day, has been the make or break for me to not go home. So I still think that that's fine, and not a big issue. And then the train ride back, I do that. I am on the New Jersey Transit app all the time. And though it's only an hour, I go back to New Jersey like 3 or 4 times a month.
Is it a direct?
It's a direct to Summit, and then we drive another 30 minutes to get to where I grew up, because that's where they live now.
And how long is the train to Summit?
An hour. And
This is similar.
and I do day trips, and that's $40 a person. No, $40 total. But still, we do it a couple times
for a round trip.
We do it a couple times a month. My parents meet us wherever it's easiest for us, and they're very selfless in that regard. But it's a big time commitment, and it sucks being on the train sometimes. That doesn't stop me from going. But what would stop me from going is knowing that I'm spending Christmas Eve and part of Christmas morning with my family, and that's more than enough. All they want to do is spend some time with you, and even if they want to spend more time with you, and they always want to stretch you out. And I'm not speaking for yours or for mine, but just in this situation, like parents are always going to want to stretch out as much time with you as possible. You are giving them the important days, and you're giving them days.
Mm-hmm.
And that's intimate, and that's how it is.
So
You're a married man, and it's totally fair, whether you want to or not, for this reason, to be with your wife, even though she's working that week, the next day or that night. And you guys are going to start your new tradition soon. And so you spent Christmas Eve with them, and you spent Christmas morning with them,
and Christmas Day.
and Christmas Day. And you're having a whole meal. You're having multiple meals together.
And let's think about this too. So let me throw this on. So the same way I could say to them, why wouldn't you drive 2 cars to New Jersey, knowing that we're going to then be crowded? I don't think the crowding bothers them, and it doesn't. It actually bothers me.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to drive a far distance, and maybe I'm a little bitch, or maybe I'm pampered, or maybe I'm spoiled, or whatever. But like, I don't want to do that. But the reason why they don't is because it doesn't make sense. Why take 2 cars? It's not insanely expensive, but you're looking at like $100 to go if you're talking about gas and tolls and everything. Like at least like more, probably $150 to go back and forth. So that's why they take 1 car, right? The same reason why they're coming over on Christmas Day is because it makes sense. It's sort of on the way, but what doesn't make sense is going to Connecticut after I have been with everybody already to then go. But why, Ryan?
No,
But why?
Those 3 little obstacles, like, I don't think you even go to the starting line, because you've already crossed the finish line with your hangout time, and it's intimate, and you already are spending enough time together, and you shouldn't feel guilty.
Mm.
And this isn't even like an accusatory thing. Just like, you're doing the best you can, and you're going to spread yourself way too thin. You're not going to get the best sleep. That's going to roll into your shows, or it's going to roll into...
It's going to roll.
It's going to roll. It's going to roll.
It's going to roll.
It's going to snowball.
It's going to snowball. 'Tis the season, Lynch.
So I think you're doing more than enough, and I don't think you should feel bad about it. I think that you are giving your family as much time as you can, and though they might be like, "Oh, you have dead time," 2 days is a lot. That's intimate time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting redundant at this point. I think you're good.
And further, so the sleep thing, they actually bought this futon, if I'm even saying that correctly. I think because in the efforts to make things more comfortable for me,
Mm-hmm.
which I really appreciate. It's a really nice thing for them to do, and it is more comfortable. But there's nothing more comfortable in your own bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's that. Okay, this was helpful. I'll let you guys know what I end up doing.
I think you're doing enough. I really do. And not that you're trying to be, am I doing the bare minimum? You're doing plenty. You're spending intimate time with each other. That's all that matters. I don't think it makes sense to go up just for the sake of going up.
Right.
And that's what it seems like it is, because you're already doing all the fun, intimate things together the first 2 days. And the extra 2 days is for what?
Right.
Christmas Eve feelings post.
Right.
And that's valid to want that, but you're a married man. You're doing the best you can. So I think You should do whatever you want to do and feel okay with it.
Sounds good to me, Lynch. This is all good stuff. So I have another thing that now is starting to stress me out a little bit.
Wait, before you get to that, can I tell you
A Christmas
just
thing?
real quick, just talking about car rides.
Yes.
So this past weekend, we went to Massachusetts to get Victoria's ring blessed in the Armenian church. And my family came up. My sister flew up with my niece, which was a big surprise, last minute thing. Vic's family from Massachusetts was there. It was about 25 of us. I had my aunts and uncles come. It was really lovely. Vic was already in Boston, and I drove up just with my parents in a minivan. And the plan was for us all to drive back together. My sister, so it was just me, my mom, and dad on the way up to Boston. Plenty of room. On the way back, it was going to be my sister, Victoria, my dad, me, and my niece, Madeline. And we're in a minivan, but my mom overpacks cars like crazy.
With things or people?
With things. There were over 6 pillows in the car. Seriously, over 6 pillows. That's a great question.
Where were you guys sleeping?
They were at a hotel. It was for just for Madeline. It was just for just in cases.
Yeah.
It was. We have the minivan.
Justin
Might as well.
Pillowcases.
It was Justin Pillowcases. And imagine your name was Justin Pillowcases.
Just thinking that.
Hey, these pillowcases. Justin Pillowcases.
Justin Pillowcases. Nice to meet you. Your name is Justin Pillowcases. Yes.
Yeah. And Vic was in London, so we're stuffing her massive suitcase. Long story short, car was packed. Very uncomfortable car ride back, but I wouldn't have done it any other way. I kind of like the chaos in it. My sister left her cell phone at the on a Merritt Parkway Dunkin' Donut gas station. Didn't realize it until 40 minutes. 40 minutes past the place. And I tell my dad, and we turn around, drive 48 minutes up, and then we drive another 2 minutes to get to the station. I get the phone, and we drive back to make up the extra 40.
So you called the phone to make sure?
I called. It was chaos.
And the person who worked there had found it?
He found it, and we ended up getting it, but we added an hour and a half to our car ride, and I still kind of liked it.
Well, but bro, this is you're leaving out an important other chaotic thing that happened: the burning car.
Oh, yeah, that was on the way up. I'll put the video right here. Yeah, when we were driving up, we were right around Hartford, Connecticut, and we see black smoke, and we see it close, and we see it quick, because it wasn't there, and then it was there, and it was close right away. So we're like, oh, this just happened. And I was like bracing my mom. I'm like, prepare for dead bodies. My dad, prepare for dead bodies, and just chaos, and be ready to swerve. And we drive by what seems to be an abandoned vehicle, and it was so on fire, it looks like it was set on fire.
It was crazy.
It was so on fire, it looked like someone was trying to get rid of the car.
And then flicked the match and walked off into the distance.
And walked off. We saw the cops pulling up as it was happening, and they didn't, we were like, my dad was freaking out because he's like, they're going to close the street. We're going to hit so much traffic. They're going to close the street. So we sped up, and we got past it, and I got a video of it.
That's crazy.
And I don't know what happened, but I don't think anyone got hurt or died. But I love the long car rides with my family personally. It's and they're crammed. They're always crammed, and I always loathe them in my mind going into it, and then they end up being a hoot. So
well, this is now making me second guess my decision making.
That has nothing to do. You're doing. You're given plenty of time. But I just wanted to mention the chaos. What would Big G do if you said to him while you're driving, "Hey, I left my phone 40 minutes behind us"?
He would go, that exact noise.
And then he would go get it?
Yeah. And then he'd be over it like quickly.
Yeah.
And then he'd be happy that the phone was still there, and like he'd have a fun interaction with the guy who got the phone from, and it would be all good.
Yeah. Victoria said that her dad would scream and then say, "Figure it out."
Oh, damn.
Like, you can go back tomorrow. You can go back to the Dunkin' Donuts
Savage.
on I-90 or on the Merritt tomorrow.
Savage.
My dad didn't even blink.
He wasn't mad at all?
I never know when my dad's mad. He just lets it fester. He's just, I don't know what his outlet is. He has to have
You've never seen him really get mad?
Oh, I've seen him get mad, but like in this situation, it was just like, what are you going to do? And my sister needs the phone because she's flying back and she has like a little kid and she's flying back to Florida the next day. And I told my dad and he didn't react. And so I felt like I didn't tell him all the details because I was like, you totally would react if I were to tell you that you have to turn around and drive an extra 48 minutes and you're exhausted, only to drive another 48 minutes to get us back to where we are, which is an hour and a half away from my apartment. And he didn't. He's like, okay. Sounds good. Crazy. He definitely kills people. Like, I'm convinced my buddy Pete and I, we think that our dads, like they're so level-headed, and we're just convinced that once a month they just bring golf clubs under a bridge and kill people, whoever happens to be there.
I love it, dude.
All right, guys, it's 2025. New year, new me. New year, new you. I know you want to be working on something new this year, whether it be fostering relationships with friends, family, grandparents. Maybe they're not even your grandparent, but you want to get closer with somebody. Or maybe it's your health and wellness. I know personally, I'm trying to gain weight, get better sleep, and that's why I'm glad that we are working with Live Good. They are a supplement company that is focusing on making sure that these products are accessible while still being the highest quality available. Because supplements are marked up so high. I walk into the store and I'll see a little bottle of protein, of little plant-based protein, and I'll be like, that shouldn't be as much as it is. Well, thanks to Live Good, it doesn't need to be that much money because everything is very reasonable and you'll have access to everything that you need. Live Good believes that everyone deserves access to high-quality supplements without the insane markups. They offer premium products formulated by an industry-leading team of natural health experts. We love that here on the podcast. And they cut out the middleman to sell them to you at the lowest prices possible. A couple goodies that I'm looking forward to getting my hands on are the Ultra Magnesium Complex. A bottle of that's gonna make me sleep very fine. I'm looking forward to that. Also, the CBD oil, and of course, that little expensive bottle of organic plant-based protein that's at the store that I wouldn't be able to buy because it's too expensive. They have it at Live Good, and you know I'm gonna be ordering a couple bottles of that because I'm trying to get big and strong and be a big, strong boy this year. And if you wanna be a big, strong boy or girl, you can do that. They also have whey as an option if you're into dairy and all that stuff. So they have everything you need: organic super greens, multivitamins, weight loss products, creatine, detox, skincare products, the whole shebang. They have it at Live Good. So if you're ready to make a switch and start saving, we'll make it even easier for you. Just use our link and you can save an additional 10% off your first order on top of the already lowest prices. Just go to livegood.com/oops to save 10% on your first order. That's livegood.com/oops. Don't miss out on this opportunity to invest in your health without overspending.
So dude, I'm getting ready to do some travel, right? So as we record this, I'm about to go do a shoot for like 4 or 5 days in Florida to kind of add to my YouTube channel. Then I'm supposed to go to Austin and I'm going to my honeymoon. As of the last couple of days, I've had sort of like tooth pain come out of nowhere. Dude, I'm like this close to being on Hill Dog's dental insurance, but not quite. I would love for it to just go away on its own, but I don't want to. I think I got to go to the dentist, but I'm worried that like no one's gonna be able to see me in time. This is like classic New York shit. Like, good luck getting an appointment at your dentist if you need to. You know what I mean? So I just called the person right before we started recording. I called the person who takes my insurance. They're not around. I had this sort of debacle where I broke my tooth in half on the popcorn earlier this year that you guys may remember. And I went to this great place. It was so expensive. But, you know, I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it would just be like a filling situation at the worst. But I feel like I got to get it taken care of. So I think when we hop off this recording session, actually, I'm literally going to call that place and just do it.
Would you be on Hill Dog's health plan before the honeymoon? Is it effective in the new year?
I can't imagine that it would kick in that quickly. Like, we need our marriage license in order to do it, and we don't even have that yet.
So it's out of the question. There's a chance. It's out of the question that if you don't take care of this before the honeymoon, you might be on your honeymoon with this.
So it's interesting you
lingering
say
toothache.
That. If I walk to the mailbox right now and the marriage certificate is in the mailbox, I don't know. Maybe the answer might be that I'd be able to just do it. And like maybe she just quickly uploads it and that's it. I'm on. And now everything, it takes a while for it to process, but effectively I'm on it. And we can sort of get reimbursed? Like, I don't actually know. So I need to figure that out. But I mean, dude, like even if I have to pay $1,000 out of pocket, which is preposterous and will make me want to die. I mean, our honeymoon was so expensive, like as anyone's honeymoon typically it tends to be, you know what I mean? Like what is an extra $1,000? I mean, it's a lot, but it's like, it's literally like travel. It might as well be travel insurance.
Yeah, when you're playing the wedding planning game or the honeymoon playing game, $1,000 instantly becomes, sure, it's just $1,000 very quickly. And then when that stuff's over, it goes back to feeling like $10,000.
Uh-huh.
But right now, $1,000 feels like $100.
Uh-huh.
And at that point,
Yep.
yeah. I don't know. Good luck with that.
Thank you, dude. I do have some more calendar stuff, dude.
Yeah.
I got some more tearaway calendar stuff.
Let's
hit a couple of them.
Yeah, let's do a couple of those before this becomes before this gets away from us.
Oh, from Christmas?
You're just like the topicality of it.
What do you
Because I want to talk real quickly about Juan Soto, and it won't make sense next week or in 2 weeks. So Juan Soto signed with the New York Mets, and all I want to say to you is that you're a selfish piece of shit. I hope you get Dorian Grayed.
What's that?
There's a book called The Picture of Dorian Gray, and it's where a guy sells his soul to the devil so that he is youthful and beautiful, and then it comes back to bite him. I hope you have the most miserable time in Citi Field, not playing for the Yankees over $5 million a year. At that point, you could buy the whole fucking city, Juan Soto. No one's ever going to think about you. Your legacy is nothing. You get to play for a horrible blue and orange doinky McDonald's kids meal team. And when you come to Yankee Stadium, I ask all Yankees fans that are in attendance between the 16th of May and the 18th of May not to cheer, not to boo, but to literally show indifference when he steps to the plate. Play on your phone. Pretend like he's not a person, because what he wants to do is get a reaction out of you, and the media wants a reaction out of you. And if you pretend that he doesn't exist, even if he pimps a home run, it's not going to feel that special if nobody's booing or heckling him. Juan Soto, you broke my heart. Fuck you.
Spoken by a true fan, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lynch. I'm sorry to hear it.
All good. All good. Wasn't meant to be.
Wasn't meant to be. And, I encourage you not to be so upset about it. Although it is fun to be really into a team.
It is really fun. And that's what I'm doing.
you.
I'm being really into my team right now. So, yes. And also, I just don't like when things don't go my way. So fuck you, Soto.
Soto.
Let's go.
Lynch is not your guy any longer, my friend. How old is he?
26. Just turned it.
Prime of his career. Okay, let's wrap it up with some of these tearaway calendar stuff. There's some good shit in here. It's a combination of little tidbits and travel hacks.
And nitbits.
All right. To free us from the expectations of others, to give us back to ourselves, there lies the great singular power of self-respect. Joan Didion.
You read that one more time?
Yes. Want me to pick this up from the ground? This says, to free us from the expectations of others, to give us back to ourselves, there lies the great singular power of self-respect.
That's very nice.
It's a very good one. That's a very good one. Think about that, guys. The next time your friend is pressuring you to do some bullshit and you don't want to, but you're afraid of making them upset, or, you have to say it in a certain way to them because they're a certain way. Think about how little self-respect you're having for yourself in that moment. Your self-respect should come over ruffling the feathers of the unreasonable people around you.
Yeah. I think we should read one of those quotes at the opening of every episode, and then you just say, think about that.
Think
and
about
then don't
that.
acknowledge it and just move on.
Think about that.
Think about that.
That's a very good one. That really resonated with me.
That is nice.
Let's see what else we got here. Lynch thinks that this is a very concerning thing that I do.
What, the licking?
No, not the licking. The looking at
the calendaring.
calendars.
Yeah,
Looking
it's a
at
little
calendars.
tizzy, but it's there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, what about this?
You're not hurting bugs.
That's true. We're not doing anything wrong necessarily. All right, going backpacking this summer. Never get your dirty and clean clothes mixed up again by simply turning your worn clothes inside out.
I I feel like mud can trickle upon.
No. That's not the point. So that's a good point. Like if you're dirty, everything's going to be dirty. But how many times has this happened to you? You overpack for a trip, you come home and you're unpacking and you don't remember what's clean and dirty because there was too many dirty clothes to do half and half. This happens to me all the time. And now I'm like, are these dirty? I'm like smelling things. It's very unpleasant. Turn it inside out, problem completely solved.
Yeah, no, that is very helpful.
That's a very good one.
I could have used that with my little travel bag for Thanksgiving. I like that.
It's very good. All right, we'll do 2 more here. Dude, I got another brain teaser for you, Lynch. Your favorite.
Let's do it.
What can be driven but doesn't have wheels and can also be sliced but stays whole?
What can be driven but doesn't have wheels, and what can be sliced that stays whole? I don't think it's a car. I don't think it's a vehicle. Driven, you have drive, you have motivation. That's a person. What is it?
Sliced but remain whole.
Sliced but remain whole. What can be sliced and then come back together? What can be driven but doesn't have wheels? One more time.
What can be driven but doesn't have wheels, and what can be sliced but stays whole?
A golf ball.
Yes, Lynch. Good job. Lynch is really good at these.
Nice.
Very impressed.
Nice.
All right. And finally, one more quote, a little inspo. Your present circumstances don't determine where you can go. They merely determine where you start. Anywho.
Very nice, Giulio.
Thank you, Lynch. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your family time. Take it easy. Relax. Enjoy yourself. You know where to find us, Oops the Podcast. Catch me in Alaska last weekend of January 30th and the 1st in Anchorage. Tickets on my site, nowjulio.com. Also have Charlotte. That link just dropped. I think it's July 17th to the 19th, 5 shows. And I'm also, I've confirmed dates in the following. Chicago, that will be in March. Then I have Providence, Rhode Island, also in March. Portsmouth, New Hampshire, also in March. And then Washington, D.C., I believe that's in May. I'm not completely positive. But yeah, come catch me in one of those cities. It's going to be great. At Not Julio G, Snapchat, and TikTok. Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/NotJulio. Check out our YouTube channel, Oops the Podcast, at Oops the Podcast. Email us, oopspodcast@gmail.com. Lynchy.
Check me out at Ryan is Really Polite. And yeah, please email us at oopsthepodcast@gmail.com. Juan Soto, I hope you have a crippling panic attack every day for the next 15 years and it gets progressively worse. Thank you.